Call of Duty is one of the most popular and loved first-person shooter games of all time, but in the last 4 or 5 years, people have grown frustrated with the game, and some have even gone on to say that the Call of Duty franchise is dead. Now, I wouldn't go that far, but I would say that Call of Duty has had a steep fall from grace as the player base gets more and more disappointed with every new Call of Duty title. Today, I aim to explain why many people feel this way, and also how I think Call of Duty can make a comeback in the eyes of the general public. Call of Duty Vanguard is the newest game to be released in this series, and despite the few people that actually enjoy Vanguard, the game has had a very negative response. I haven't played Call of Duty Vanguard a lot, but I would say I've had enough experience with the game to give a respectable opinion. Vanguard released on November 5th, 2021, and it was yet another game set in World War II, which many fans were upset with due to this being done so many times prior. The problem with World War II Call of Duties is that the weapons are very basic and aren't that fun to play with. The Call of Duty community loved games like Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops 2, so having the combat go back in time made the game less enjoyable for me. Call of Duty Vanguard didn't do anything unique, as it had boring maps, little to no incentive to play the game, and probably the worst zombies mode a Call of Duty game has ever seen. A common argument to defend Vanguard is that the game was made during a pandemic, which is true, but if the game wasn't finished, they could have delayed the release to make sure they were selling a finished product, and I'm sure Call of Duty fans wouldn't mind waiting a little bit longer for a much better game. Enough about Call of Duty Vanguard though, let's take a look back at why fans fell in love with Call of Duty in the first place. Call of Duty has been one of the heavy hitters when it comes to first-person shooter games for a long time now, and the multiplayer always prided itself on fun gameplay, great maps, and lots of customization. The guns were designed to be exciting for the players to use, whether that be shotguns, assault rifles, snipers, or a different type of weapon. You could play against other players online testing your skills in the battlefield, and it was usually a non-competitive game and people are just trying to enjoy themselves. The game was rated M for mature, but anyone that's ever played a Call of Duty game knows there are plenty of young kids on the game. Even though Call of Duty was about war, the multiplayer was never that intense, so younger people didn't have a problem. Call of Duty also introduced Zombies mode, which was a reward for completing the Call of Duty World at War campaign. I've always been a fan of Zombies because you can play the game mode in so many different ways. When Zombies first originated, it was extremely bare bones, but once games like Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4 came along, a common complaint about Zombies was how complicated it was. Now, the game mode did get a lot more complex as time went on, but you could watch a couple YouTube tutorials in the newest Zombies maps and you would be well on your way to high rounds. Zombies would be in all the Treyarch Call of Duties. Other Call of Duty developers tried their own Zombies type modes, but everyone knew Treyarch Zombies was the best. The mode had so much passion put into it, and that was visible as soon as you lit it into a map. Take a look at Shadows of Evil, the on-disc map for Call of Duty Black Ops 3. The map had incredible graphics, characters, sounds, and weapons. You could buy different perks to help you fight the zombies, and each perk had its own original perk jingle or song that would play when standing near it. One of the most popular original Call of Duty games though would be Call of Duty 4, also known as Modern Warfare, which released on November 5th, 2007. This game changed Call of Duty forever as it would sell significantly more copies than the previous 3 installments in the series. Call of Duty 4 brought the combat to modern day, and with a beloved multiplayer mode, people were hooked. This game introduced many new fans to the series, and Activision knew that setting a game in the present or future could draw a larger audience. Call of Duty World at War would release 1 year after COD 4 in 2008, which, as I mentioned earlier, was the first game to include zombies. Zombies actually started off as a fun side project for the developers at Treyarch to work on, and once the rest of the studio started to give it a go, it was a massive hit at Treyarch Studios, and they decided to release it with Call of Duty World at War, and what a great decision that ended up being. In 2009, Infinity Ward released Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, which would become one of their most loved games. Modern Warfare 2 is known for its extremely fun gameplay, unbalanced weapons, toxic game chat, great maps like Terminal, High Rise, and much more, as well as amazing gun variety in Modern Warfare 2, with weapons such as the Intervention, ACR, Barrett 50 cal, Scar H, and a lot more. This Call of Duty is still brought up as one of the best ever made, with a lot of people saying it's the greatest COD game ever released. The discussion usually involves Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops 2, but people also talk about other Call of Duties being their favorite for a variety of reasons. 1 year later though, in 2010, Treyarch would release Call of Duty Black Ops. This was one of the best-selling games in the series. Black Ops 1 was the first game to introduce maps such as Nuketown, Firing Range, and Summit. The multiplayer in Black Ops was very balanced and underrated in my opinion, and along with some cool customization features made it great. The campaign for Black Ops was also praised as being one of the best, but I haven't played any of the Call of Duty campaigns, so that's why I haven't been mentioning the campaign much when talking about some of these classic games. Black Ops 1 continued what Call of Duty World at War started by releasing some nostalgic zombies maps that people still play. Many people will admit their first zombies map they ever played was Keener der Toten, which was the on-disc map for Black Ops. Other notable zombies maps include Ascension, Moon, and Call of the Dead. The zombies fanbase was growing at a fast rate during Black Ops 1, but wouldn't reach its peak until much later. shooter. Around this time, content creators would upload themselves playing Black Ops and other Call of Duty games on YouTube, and content creators today have a massive influence on how the majority of fans view a Call of Duty game. Call of Duty was on a roll at this point, and they would continue their success when they released Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 in 2011. This game sold extremely well due to the popularity of Modern Warfare 2. Despite MW3 not being seen as better than MW2, it is still held in high regard today as one of the better Call of Duty games. In Modern Warfare 3, if you went on a 25 kill streak, you would get what is known as a Moab, and you would end up nuking the entire map, killing all the enemy players for 60 seconds. This was a feature in Modern Warfare 2 as well, but I thought it would be an interesting thing to bring up because this type of stuff makes Call of Duty fun and gives people a reason to play. 1 year later, Call of Duty Black Ops 2 would come out, and this game was another massive hit. The game was even more loved than Black Ops 1 as it had a great multiplayer and a more engaging zombies experience. This was also when popular content creators on social media would play the game and in turn make other people want to play as well. FaZe Clan was becoming one of the largest gaming organizations at the time, and they were one of the leaders in Call of Duty content creation. Black Ops 2 is still being revisited to this day, and people often look back to Black Ops 2 when thinking of how they want a current Call of Duty game to be. Black Ops 2 had multiplayer maps that fans loved, such as Standoff, Hijacked, Raid, Slums, Carrier, and much more. The multiplayer was very balanced with a variety of weapons being viable. The zombies were also great, despite not getting off to a great start map-wise. The on-disc map Transit was hated for years and is still despised to this very day. Die Rise was just as unpopular as Transit, but even though the maps weren't great in the beginning, the mechanics of BO2 zombies were spectacular. Treyarch would eventually strike gold when they released Mob of the Dead in Origins, but it wasn't looking too great from the beginning. Many multiplayer maps from Black Ops 2 have been remastered and put into future Call of Duties, which I'm okay with to a certain extent. I think remastering maps can be great nostalgia for the fans, but when you overdo it, it seems desperate and forced. Unfortunately for Call of Duty, Black Ops 2 was the last game fans all agreed was a great game, as the games released after BO2 would all be met with a lot of skepticism to say the least. In 2013, Call of Duty Ghosts would come out, and the fan base is still split to this day. The multiplayer in COD Ghosts was seen as boring and uninteresting due to the extremely large maps. When you have a 6v6 shooter game like Call of Duty, the maps need to be compact so there's enough action to keep the player engaged. When you make maps excessively large, this slows down the pace of the game dramatically and makes the game a chore to play. Now, I feel like Call of Duty Ghosts was overhated at the time, and this is because it followed Black Ops 2, and the fans were expecting another great leap in quality to the next game, and when that didn't happen, that led to a bunch of disappointed fans. I haven't played Call of Duty Ghosts in a very long time, but I'd love to hop back on and see how it holds up in 2022. Call of Duty had stayed true to the boots on the ground playstyle up until now, so when Call of Duty released Advanced Warfare in 2014, it was despised by the community, and many players decided to go back to Black Ops 2. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare introduced jetpacks, and these jetpacks allowed the player to fly extremely high in the air, and this was just an unnecessary change to COD. The guns were very futuristic and the maps are not great in my opinion. If you can avoid taking the game too seriously, then Advanced Warfare can be a decent game, but it was not received well due to the ridiculous jetpacks, and the game's sales reflected that. Moving on from Advanced Warfare, Call of Duty Black Ops 3 released in 2015, and even though some people didn't like the jetpacks in this game, I thought they were very well implemented and made the game much more fun. Black Ops 3 is one of my favorite games in the series due to the zombies mode. The multiplayer wasn't bad at all either, and had some great guns like the M8A7, VMP, and 205 Brecci. The zombies really shined in this game though, with the on-disc map Shadows of Evil being a fan favorite, as well as the Rising Drock. There was a lot of content to enjoy in Black Ops 3, with the addition of Free Run and also Dead Ops Arcade 2, which was fun to play with friends. Some people still didn't like Black Ops 3 because of the advanced movement, but it was a much more moderate system, not allowing the player to fly as high or as frequently. This was the last Call of Duty game that I really enjoyed, as I felt the games after Black Ops 3 took a turn in the wrong direction. On November 4th, 2016, the worst Call of Duty game ever came out, that being Infinite Warfare. This game fully dived into the futuristic side of COD, and it's hard to even describe how hated this game was. The trailer of the game on YouTube had a lot more dislikes than likes. Call of Duty Infinite Warfare was the worst multiplayer experience I've ever played, and that is not an exaggeration. The gameplay was awful, the guns were not fun to use, and there are no positives for the multiplayer. The only good thing I can say about this game is that the on-disc zombies map, Zombies in Spaceland, was one of the best non-Treyarch zombies maps ever made. Spaceland was everything the zombies community wanted, and they were able to deliver a great product without it trying to seem like they were copying Treyarch, which was great. The map was set in a theme park and allowed you to go on rides and earn tickets that you could use to purchase items in the match. The other zombies maps in Infinite Warfare wouldn't come close to the greatness of Spaceland, but it's still important to give Zombies in Spaceland the props it deserves. In 2017, Call of Duty World War II came out, and it was marketed as the return to boots on the ground gameplay, which got people very excited. It was supposed to be the revival of Call of Duty, but when it came out, it fell flat on its face. The The game just wasn't interesting, with boring, clunky old school weapons and maps that I didn't enjoy. Some people actually liked Call of Duty World War II, but I couldn't get behind the multiplayer or the zombies. The zombies looked appealing initially with the return to the horror aspect of the mode, but the maps were lackluster and the colors were just so bland. I don't mind when Call of Duty adds a lot of color to the game because it gets boring looking at dark gray the entire time. Either way though, Call of Duty World War II is finishing up its life cycle, and the next game to come out will be Black Ops 4 in 2018, which was a very mediocre game at best. It seemed like the game was just called Black Ops 4 to appeal to a wider audience. If players saw a Black Ops title, people would buy it regardless of how good the game was. Black Ops 4 had a passable multiplayer mode, as it would be a more futuristic Call of Duty even though it was still boots in the ground. The guns were decent in Black Ops 4, but the time to kill increased pretty significantly, which I thought was a nice change. The specialists returned from Black Ops 3, each having their own unique ability. I don't have a problem with the multiplayer, but the zombies I was extremely disappointed by, especially coming after Black Ops 3 zombies, which I adored. The mode was unnecessarily complicated and had way too many boring remastered maps. Black Ops 4 released with 4 zombies map on launch, which is just way too many, and it split the community from day one. Quality is always king, and I'd rather have 1 really great zombies map than 4 rushed, mediocre zombies maps. BO4 also released Blackout, which was the first battle royale game for a Call of Duty. Now I barely played Blackout, but going off of public opinion, it was nothing to get excited over. In 2019, Call of Duty would release Modern Warfare again. That's right, Call of Duty now has 2 games with the same exact name, but in order to make things less confusing, I'm going to refer to this game as Modern Warfare 2019. This is one of my least favorite Call of Duty games ever because I disliked the multiplayer and it had no zombies mode. The only reason why people even consider Modern Warfare 2019 a good game is because they include Warzone when talking about it, which I consider a separate game. Modern Warfare 2019 was just never interesting to me from day one, and I couldn't care less about it today. All the maps were gray, and I admittedly gave up on this game from the very start. Moving into 2020, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War was released, which was also a disaster in my opinion. The content was few and far between, and the entire game felt like a massive cash grab. Pair that with endless bugs and glitches, and you have yourself a subpar Call of Duty game. I did enjoy the new version in Nuketown, but besides that, the maps were extremely campy and boring. Skill-based matchmaking was also a big part of Cold War, which was infuriating for good players that just wanted to play a non-competitive match. Cold War zombies felt like they were doing the bare minimum, and I really didn't care for any of the maps. Some people enjoyed D-Machine, but I just never got into it. I disliked the score streak system in Cold War, and overall regret buying it. And after all that, we have finally made it to the current Call of Duty game, Call of Duty Vanguard, which I already shared my opinions on in the beginning, but I feel like Vanguard is just as bad, if not worse, than Cold War, due to the boring, outdated guns, camping maps, and no incentive to play. It really is sad to see how the Call of Duty franchise has deteriorated, but I think there is hope. Microsoft recently bought Activision for over $60 billion, so I'm hoping Microsoft will make the necessary adjustments. The yearly release cycle of Call of Duty just isn't working, and I wouldn't mind them taking more time to develop these games. It would also be interesting to see if they release a single Call of Duty game and just keep updating that one. I think this is extremely unlikely, but with the rise of Warzone in recent years, anything is possible for Call of Duty. The main thing missing is the incentive to play. There is nothing right now that makes me want to play Call of Duty Vanguard. Doing the same camo grinds over and over again is not fun, and something needs to change. I think the next Call of Duty needs to be modern, with fun weapons, a lot of color, and new, fresh maps that aren't all remasters or rehashes of old concepts. I know people loved Warzone, but I never thought it was that fun, and honestly didn't understand the hype. At the end of the day, when it comes to Call of Duty, whatever makes the most money with the least amount of effort will be released, and that's what we've been seeing for the last 5 or so years. If there's one thing that Call of Duty is great at though, it's marketing. They know how to build up hype for a game, even if the product is terrible. People always get tricked with these trailers and people end up buying the game regardless, and that's why some of the awful Call of Duty games still sell decently well. I haven't been satisfied with a Call of Duty game since Black Ops 3, but I'm still very hopeful that Microsoft buying Activision, we could see some changes to the series. Make sure to comment down below what your favorite Call of Duty game is, and include an explanation why. I'm going to respond to each and every single one of you. I hope you enjoyed this video on the rise and fall of the Call of Duty franchise, and I'll see you all next time.